Hey.
What up? What
What's
up? What
up,
up?
James? We are on.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
So this is the first ever QPS podcast called Life in Focus. And um, it's based on life through the lens of a videographer, right? I deal with so many different clients and I have so many different genres of business people that I work with. And so every one of them have their own life, right? Everyone has their own trials and tribulations, and they're all experts in their field. And I think that we got to give them a stage, right? We got to give them a
Nice.
platform so they can shine and they can tell their story, and gain more business, right? And let people know who they are exactly and what they're about, and just like their own trials and tribulations in their business. And I'm hoping that this content will help generate, bring other people into their lives to help them, whether it's clients or other business associates, partners, whatever. Who knows what the possibilities are, right? But we're gonna try something new, and we're gonna figure it out as we go, right? And so today I have a beautiful person, a beautiful personality, um, Candice Wu. She is a health coach, right?
I would call myself an embodied healing facilitator.
Yes,
And then when
yes,
I do that, people are like, what's that?
yes. A
Of
body
course, right.
healing facilitator.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
What is it? What is that?
But I'm also an actress and a voice actor
Yes,
and a
yes.
singer.
It's actually
So,
how we met, right?
yeah,
So through
that's true.
your voiceover. I heard this girl's voice, and I was like, we gotta have it. Like, we gotta have it. We gotta have it. And then the people I was working with at that time were like, okay, we'll do it. And we brought her on, and she was actually friends with the owner of the company. Daughters of friends of the owner of the company, and I kept on trying to use your voice. Like, I wanted your voice. I thought
That was so fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
I thought you just had the best radio voice, the best, just like that voiceover. You can use it for anything, and I liked it. And I was just like, let's use Candice. Let's use Candice.
Yeah, back in the day when I was doing my podcast, the Embody podcast, a lot of people would say, "You have a really good voice. You should do voiceover." And then, in the there were those comments, and then there were comments like, "I love your voice. I just fall asleep to it," which is like the ultimate compliment. Because
Dude,
if someone's listening to my podcast and they can sleep and they can just, you know,
I'm with you
zonk
100.
out, I like it.
Dude, I love it.
But
It's the hottest
yeah,
voice. Like, I think it's just hot. Like, you can do anything with it. Like, you can sell. I mean, if you want to tell a story, you want to sell something, um, your voice works. It
well,
really does.
thank
If you
you,
want to narrate, I mean, I like it a lot.
thank you.
It does work. Um, so let me tell you a little bit about myself, since
Yeah, tell me about you,
since
James.
um, I started this. I've been a videographer for about say 15 years, 15 to like 17 years, and the way that I started videography was I was a football coach for my son in Pee Wee football,
That's right.
and he was really good. Like at 4 years old, 6 years old, like this kid was lit. Like he was so just a phenomenal athlete at that age, and still is. And I had all this footage of him on a camera, and back then we
Mhm.
didn't really know what to do with the footage. It kind of just stayed on the camera, right? So I didn't really know what to do with it, and I got my first Mac, my first iMovie, and so I had all this footage, and then I put it into iMovie, made this little highlight film, and it was just beast, man. It was like, imagine this little
That
kid.
was when it was like the coolest thing
Yeah,
ever, too.
yeah. Imagine this little
I would
kid just running
imagine.
around the field doing all this amazing stuff, and I just fell in love with it. I truly, truly fell in love with it, and like I didn't want to do anything else. At the time, I was working for R.J. Reynolds, and I was making six figures. I was killing the game at R.J. Reynolds, selling cigarettes and pushing Camel cigarettes in the hood and gaining their property share. Like, I was crazy, and I was doing really well. And then at that time, I'm like, I just can't do this anymore, and I quit. I left. I went back to school and then got my degree in digital communication. And then from there, I've just been killing it ever since. Like I just been just trying to stay with the game and keep up on the wave. And it has been truly, truly an awesome, awesome journey. Like I can't tell you how like just content I feel, right? Like I don't care. Like I have my ups and downs. I had my moments where, you know, dead broke. I didn't no business whatsoever. Didn't know what I was doing until moments like where I'm here with you in the studio in my podcast and we're killing the game, right? So it's been an awesome, awesome journey. And I wouldn't change it for the world.
So your son has an entire catalog of his life, probably.
He does. He definitely does. He can go back to Christmases. He can go back to any game he played.
Probably more than he'd wish for was on tape.
Yeah, definitely for like personal stuff. But I did. I documented pretty much as I could, edited it, tried to make it as nice as I could, and just left it for him for mementos for that reason. So, son, you can go back, look at yourself, share it with your kids. You know what I mean? Share it with yourself and look back and this was you, man. And this is how great you are as an. You know what I mean? And
So he was your inspiration.
always, yeah. Until this day, man. Like, dude, it's definitely my inspiration. I've loved being a father. It changed my whole life. It kind of made me like made me who I am today. You know, like I'm far from perfect, but I'm a good parent.
What do you mean it made you who you are? Because of being a parent, or
Yeah,
what
well,
would you say about that?
trials and tribulations, right? Like everything you go through. I was a single parent. I didn't have
Okay.
you know what I mean? I was a single
Yeah.
parent, and I had my son full time. So it was a lot of sacrifice. It was a lot of sacrifice. It was a lot of, okay, I got to take this road instead of this road. A lot of planning. It was just a lot of like learn as you go, right? It's for a kid at that age, they're nothing but sponges, absolutely nothing but sponges, and you have to have that character. You have to walk around. You have this kid on your hip, and so he's only going to imitate who you are. You know what I mean, and what you're about. So to hold that standard, you know what I mean, to
Get it
have
like an
that.
instant mirror right there.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah,
oh.
it is, and it's nothing but a blessing. Like it's been nothing but just good times, good lessons, and lovable moments, right? Like, yeah, he changed my life. Like, if it wasn't for that, like I'd probably still be slinging cigarettes, right, and moving up in the cigarette world or whatever. But at that age, when he came up to, I couldn't do it. Like I just couldn't. When he was like, "What do you do for a living?" and all his friends were like, "What do you do? What do you?" I'm like,
Yeah, they all want to know.
"Yeah," and I'm just like, I couldn't tell him. I was just a
Oof.
coach, and that's why I left. Really, so I was just like, whatever.
Wow. Right. That's a big reflection.
Yeah, yeah.
So here you are, single parent, and then you're going through some of the challenges of like maybe not having cash on hand, or like a dip in your work during when you were a filmmaker,
Yeah.
videographer, and doing all the media that you do. How did you keep on going, or how did you get through that?
Um, I have to give a lot of credit to God. I'm a very spiritual person, right? So, and during those hard times, for me, like I fall back on my spirituality. I'm Muslim, so I pray and I try to live this. I mean, I'm not holy, I'm not religious or anything, but I try to be a good person, right? Like, and I try to follow these rules as best as I can, to the best of my ability, right? But I have to say, like, it's when you have another life in your hands, right? Like this life is in my hands, but I have to do my best that I can do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no more partying, there's no more drinking, there's no more smoke, there's no more none of that stuff until this life is ready to stand up on its own and do its own thing. So I just think, for me, I didn't want him to go through what I went through. I didn't want him to live the lifestyle I lived as a child. You know what I mean? I really wanted this kid to develop, um, to have a chance, and I was willing to do whatever it took. And I worked second jobs. You know, I did. You know, I worked for Amazon. I did side jobs for people, like just anything I could to get by. And yes, in those moments, it's hard, but at the same time, it's a day that passes by, right? And
Yeah.
it, I don't dwell. I can't stick with it. I can't dwell on it. Like I just, you know, it was hard times. Like there was, you know, we only had $20 in my pocket, and we get a $5 hot and ready pizza. You know what I mean? And
Wow.
that's what it was, dude.
Yeah.
And it's okay, son. Are you full? Yes, Dad, I'm full. That's all
And you
that
made it through
matters.
that
And we
day.
made it through that day, and that's all it takes. You just make it through the day, and you make it through the day the best way you can, with the best intentions. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to steal from nobody. I'm not trying to hurt
Hmm.
nobody in my day. I'm not trying to take advantage of anybody in my day. I'm just trying to be the best person I can be in that moment, because I know I'm not paying attention, but that kid is paying attention. And I think it worked, dude. I really do see this kid now. Like, he is crazy. I'm
He's
gonna
like
have him.
22 now.
Yeah, he's 22
Yeah.
now. He's crazy, dude. Like, he's just his mentality, the way he thinks, the way he talks, his stature, I'm like, dude, I made that. Like, I did. I did. I
That's
helped. I helped a
something to
lot
be
with that.
really proud of.
Yeah, and I am. I'm really proud of
Yeah.
it. I love it. Um, will I do it again? Yes, in the right circumstances, I would love to do it again,
Yeah.
right? Like, and go through that journey of raising a child. But instead of doing it alone, I'd want to do it with someone.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What's something you've learned from him?
It doesn't stop, right? So like
Yeah.
I'm a wild heart. I'm wild at heart, right? I'm so wild at heart. And being a dad, right? You're a continuous role model. Like, you can't misbehave, or, like, you know what I mean, or be naughty or
You
do
can't be
anything. You
wild.
can't be wild when your son is. You just can't do it, because your son's gonna look at you like, oh, you're doing it. Yeah, you're doing
You're
it,
in
Dad.
trouble,
You're an influence.
Dad.
Like, you know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
my biggest influence. It was some stupid, like, dude. I'm like, come on, let me live a little bit. Like, let me, like, it's been 46 years. Like, I've been on this good streak for a long time. Let me just be a little wild and
Which
carefree a
is how
little
you
bit.
got to that place to begin with, probably.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I mean, it was.
You were a little wild, and then this whole thing,
Yeah, but
journey happened.
it's all good, man. And and seeing it. The thing is, like, seeing him grow up through a lens, and having all those moments. I got a lot of moments recorded. Like, it's
Yeah.
crazy. Like, but I appreciate it every time, because it helped me learn how to edit. It helped me learn how to, like, with Premiere and Final Cut. It helped me go through all those software programs, like, to get me to where I'm at today. And yeah, nothing but a blessing, Candice. Like, it's been a really awesome journey.
I like how scrappy you were.
Mhm.
Just like in a good way.
Yeah, yeah.
Just doing whatever you can to make it through
Oh yeah, dude.
sometimes.
Oh god. You would be
You
like,
just
you'd be
have to.
surprised. You'd be surprised. Like, dude,
Yeah.
hot and ready pizzas at $5 was the best deal. You'd have you have like the 2 for $6 classic Arby's for like 2 for $6.
You probably found the best deals.
Yeah, that's all it was. Like, the fat, whatever it was, we could, like, eat and save money at the same time, because, like, at that time it was crazy. Like, when I first started out, like, dude, it was like, how am I going to convince people that I am a videographer? How am I going to convince people that I can help them market? And I had no idea. Like, they didn't really, like, they only taught me in school. They only taught me the editing parts, and, like,
Okay, not the
like
business.
not the business aspect of things. So I had to go through a lot of trials and tribulations, and I was always trying to prove myself. Like, okay, I'm working, so I'd be doing jobs for free and helping people, for free, and just having them take advantage of me, do this, do that. I'm just like, and it was all learning, right? Like, it was all part of the hard school of knocks, I guess, right? But
Yeah.
it was cool.
Yeah, you learned on the fly a lot.
Yeah, yeah. And just working with other people, working with other videographers, project after project, just you know, relentless. Like, I'm finding leads, and I'm, closing those leads and converting them, and just trying to maintain a steady income in this business for a long time, until I would say the last 2 years, 3 years, where it's just kind of snowballed and really took a mind of its own now. So
Well, and something happened for you recently, and then you took a big leap for yourself, as I
yeah,
understand it, and now things are exploding for you in a lot of ways. And you haven't really mentioned yet your photography with
yeah,
with real estate and everything. That's gone big.
yeah. It's gone really, really big. It's gone really, really good. Um, I was working I was working with a company before. I think you know them. We were saying we brought you out, and
Mm-hmm.
we had to part ways. We parted ways unexpectedly, and it kind of left me in a position like, well, James, what are you gonna do? Like
Mm-hmm.
what's your next move? And what kind of killed me in that whole situation, what kind of sparked my fire is that I'm working for a company, right? And I'm working for a company and I'm making them $500 a minute per edit. So I've done over
Mm.
200 videos for this company. I produced 200 videos for this company, and they're getting paid $500 per minute. So I add up all my minutes. I do for it. I add up
Yeah,
all the minutes.
you just gotta
Yeah,
and
I
see what
have
that
to.
adds
Yeah,
up to.
I find this out. Like I'm so shocked. Like how much and
Oh.
they're charging companies $500 a minute per video, and so I'm like, what? And I'm looking at and they're paying me what? And so I'm looking and then I do the math. I do over 200 videos, and plus like interviews. I do like so much. This is like I'm doing work for like a big university. Like they're part of a big university, and um, so it comes out to like 500 videos. I'm sorry, 200 videos at $500 a minute. It comes out to like I made this company $500,000
Ooh.
over $500,000 and just their own numbers. Like you know what I mean? Besides like all the
Wow.
photography stuff that I did and all the other like editing stuff that I did for them and the audio stuff, whatever it was, $500,000 in a span of 2 years.
Mm.
And then how much did I get of that? Pennies, pennies on the dollar. You know what I mean? So that to me like really made me
Didn't add
mad.
up for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really made me like inside like, are you serious? Like this is where my talents are going. Like I did all this work for a major university, and a major company that's been around has a lot, and
Mm-hmm.
I've been directing and producing. I've been doing all the work. Like I just did. I'll go to these assignments, do all the work, and they're paying me from what they're getting paid. I'm just like, dude, no, I can do this on my own. And from that moment on, I just did it, right? So I got into
Yeah, it was like the next day you were
yeah,
like, I'm doing all this stuff.
yeah. I'm like
It's
I'm
like,
done.
of course you are.
Yeah, and I was like, and I'm done with it, man. I'm like I'm just done with it. And I hooked up with Next Door Photo, a great company, and we partnered up, and we have been killing it, man. We've been doing houses left and right, videos, highlighting
Nice.
homes.
You're
We're
using your
just
drones.
using
You've
our
got,
drones. We're
yeah.
killing it, man. Our numbers are just growing every month. Just we're doing more
Nice.
homes, more homes, more homes every month. Shout out to Next Door Photo. They are great. I love them. Andy, he is a great guy out there. I'm gonna try to have him on the show too. Um, but yeah, dude, it's where it's at right now. It's hot.
Mm-hmm.
And with these real estate agents, everybody wants to be a leader in their field, their industries. We can make that happen for you, man. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm.
We can make your voice heard. We can make you like and get you out there. So it's been really, really a blessing, just a blessing. There's that thing where they say, if something wants to leave you, let it go. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
that's like a lesson I have to learn all the
don't,
time. I'm
don't,
learning it all the
you
time.
don't have to hold on to things that don't want you,
Yeah.
that don't, you know what I mean? That don't see your value. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big, big believer in this. And this year was such proof of it that just let it go. At that moment, there was a moment when they were like, well, I think we're not going to be able to work together anymore. There was
Mm-hmm.
a moment of devastation for me, like just a slight moment, like, you don't want what? What? I'm depending on this. I have this um, my main source of income. What do and
Like
for me,
this, I need this kind
yeah,
of
like I need this
thought.
thing. Like I need this. I need to be in this
Mm-hmm.
spot. In reality, I didn't need this spot at all. Like I didn't need it, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like that spot was what's holding me back. It was
Yeah.
what's literally killing me. And I'm a big believer, if things don't want you, let them go. And there's no need to dwell. There's no need to chase. There's no need to, even be remorse, have any like cry or anything, because it's your blessing. It's let them go. You know what I mean? And good
Makes
things
room for
it
more.
makes room for more and better. To be honest.
I always feel like, well, it really was only the last couple of years, maybe 3 years, that I really leaned into everything is always working out for me. And that's part of it, what you're saying, because when, yeah, like as we create our next step, as we create our state of being, I feel like we expand and we grow into ourselves, and the things that want to leave will, or that need to break off will, to make more room for where you're actually going and what's actually more aligned for you if you're on that path. And when things look like they're in devastation or falling apart in that process, it's actually working out for you. That is the working out process when things are ending or dying or hurting in a way, because then it shows you where you need to go or what you need to heal or what's going to be there for you on the other side of that too.
I get it.
But you just did that like so quickly.
I mean, you don't have a choice, right? Like I can't. I'm never.
You do though.
No,
You made that choice.
Yeah, but I'm not. The choice is to do it. It's not to, like, to dwell or to cry about it or to be confused, or you know what I mean. It's to find the answers to your next step and to and to move forward, regardless at whatever it was. Even to get us here at this moment. What I say, let's do it. Let's not hold back. You know what I mean?
You wanted to do it like the second you
Yeah,
thought of it.
yeah,
And I was like, well, we have to schedule
right?
that.
Like Ace too. He's over there like, dude, how Ace, get me in. I can't. I'm busy. I can't do it. No, dude, I need to get in there. I gotta do it. Like I can't. Like you know what I'm saying?
He pushed you into it too.
Yeah, like I chased him. I had to chase him down, text him, beg him almost. Like I gotta do it. Like I don't want. You know what I mean? I don't want no roadblocks,
you're just
bro.
a go.
I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna go, and I don't want to. And I'm gonna fight for it. Whatever it is, if I like it and I want it, I'm gonna fight for it, and I'm gonna nurture it, do whatever I can, and make it mine. Like that's what I want, and I'm gonna do it. Like with this whole video business too. Like I don't care, man. 15 years locked in this game, ups and downs and craziness circles. Like, dude, and I'm still hard after it because I know my goals. Like I know what I want to do. I know where I want to be at, and I'm content if I never even get there. But it's the journey for me. Like it's all about the journey. So every day, it's the moment. How did I get past this moment? Tomorrow's not promised to us. You know what I mean? Nothing's promised. You know what I mean? So live in the moment, love the moment. If you never reach that dream, at least you died trying, right? So
that really shows that you just have a passion for this, and you keep that keeps you going, and it's not the end result as much as the doing it for you. It sounds like.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, I really am result driven for my clients.
Yeah.
Right? Like I really want my clients to get the results and the numbers that they need to succeed. If I'm doing that for them, then I'm winning. Like that's my game plan. Like, you know what I mean? If you win, I win. And that's just how I'm going to attack it, like regardless. So
something I love about you, James, it's something that I learned like the first day I met you, and then big time, when we just connected a little further, is that you are so motivating because you're internally motivated. Like you love this, you love just putting yourself out there. You love not just love, but you're willing to do it. You're just ready to do it. You don't have any fear about it, which is so cool because one of the first times I met you, you were like, put your acting stuff out there, put more of your voiceover, just keep posting every day. And then the next thing I know, you're writing a poem, which was so cool, about something we experienced. And it was like, you just posted it right up. And that energy that you bring to other people around you is just so contagious.
Thank you. I do. It's nice to hear.
Yeah.
Thank you. I try, dude. I really do. Like, 'cause I know at the end of the day, Candice, that I can't do it by myself. There's absolutely no way that I can do it by myself. And if I have a team, if I have people that I've helped and, you know what I mean, that are willing to come back and help me, you know what I mean, and do anything, then magic can happen, right? If you help someone achieve their vision, it's only fair that they return, you know what I mean? It's only like that someone's going to, the karma of it, that individual doesn't have to help you back, but someone else will come back and help you with yours. So I'm a big, big believer in that. And
Yeah, it's your state of being to feel like you're collaborating and supporting people around you, and you receive that too. It's kind of all part of that flow of give and take, or
right,
receiving and giving.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I love it. I do. I think it's just life, man. Right? Like you got to live life in the moment, and you got to live it day by day, and you have to plan all at the same time. So it's kind of like just do it, right? Like
That's you. Just do
do
it.
it. Like just there's a path.
Just do
And
it.
it's so hard though to stay on a path, right? It's so like it's not hard, but there's so many temptations and there's so many things that throw you off this path. You know what I mean? But you have to get back on. You gotta climb it. You gotta like be willing and expect that things are going to get hard. Right? You gotta know this. If you don't, then that's when things start to beat you up and slow you down. And like I look at things, I'm like, damn, I'm waiting for something to pop out and scare me, right? Like as I'm going through this life of journey, like, why isn't anything behind this tree? Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, let's go. Maybe up that against that wall, there's gonna be something there. So I'm
I mean,
hoping it.
it's a nice little mind trick to say, like, yeah, it's gonna be hard, it's gonna be expected, and then
Yeah.
you just, it doesn't surprise you
No,
as
no.
much.
Yeah, it doesn't at all because I've been through there. From where I've grown up and what I've done and where I've been and what I've seen in my life, dude, I can't tell you. Like I've grown up in poverty and seen and moved up and seen the wealthy side of life, right? Like, and I've been through all the trials and tribulations between them.
What was that like? What was growing up like? You want to go there?
Yeah, let's go
Let's
there.
go there.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, tell me more about it.
Growing up was tough. Like it was really tough. I was a single mom. I had a single mom that worked nights and two older sisters, right? And then we just kind of the sisters. We just kind of we had each other, and that was it. We kind of lived in in the hood,
Where was it?
like in the Oak Park at that time, in apartment buildings, and we moved a lot. So we're like Oak Park, Detroit, different spots in Detroit, 8 Mile, and it was just tough. My mom didn't have much, and my sisters stayed with their stepdad a lot, or their dad at that time a lot, and we just didn't have much at that time until my mom met her my stepdad now, and he kind of pulled us out of that situation and took care of us. And my stepdad really, really was like the main male figure in my life. Like, and he took me under his wing, kind of teached me, like kind of like molded me into like this man today. You know what I mean? A lot of lectures, a lot of like how you're supposed to be, how to supposed to think, long talks, like long hour talks, just like as a kid,
He
7
really
years
spent
old.
time with you. Yeah, 7.
Yeah, but as talking, but not like he
Okay.
worked a lot, so
Okay.
we didn't do like the sports thing or we go hang out. But when he come home from work and if he seen like I had bad grades, or if I gave my mom a hard time at that time, like we would have these lecture talks and how to like behave and how to look at things. And I didn't comprehend them a lot of the time because I was so young, but not until like I got into my later teens, and it all came together like in my 20s, and my own son was born, and yeah, it was he was. I'm very grateful for my stepdad. He's helped me in my life so much and just guided me through a lot. I appreciate him. I do. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't. We'd probably be somewhere else. But
That's a whole
yeah, no,
other
it
timeline.
was tough. It was a tough childhood. It was, you know, and until we came up, right? Until the family came up, my dad came up. He got a better job, better position. He was a pharmacist, and then we came up, and things started looking good. But you know, there was a while there where we were down and out, you know, and just trying to find a way to make it happen. But you know, God prevails, man. You know, my mom is she's a resilient lady. Like she's been through a lot in her life, and I think God has blessed her for all that.
Mm-hmm.
How about you though? Like your childhood growing up, you were like in West Bloomfield. Did you go? Was that where you grew up? Or
I grew up in Rochester, Michigan,
Rochester.
mostly.
Yeah.
What about?
Just how was it for you growing up? Was it tough? Was it easy? Like fitting in? Um,
Mm.
you know, like I can imagine your parents are first generation.
Mm-hmm.
They're from China.
Yeah, my parents came from Hong Kong
Nice.
when they were 17 and 18, roughly. Maybe 17 and 19. My dad was 19. They met here in like Livonia area. So their families came separately. And
Oh, so they weren't like married back home in Canada.
no,
They might
yeah.
actually. Were they young? How young were they?
My mom was about 17
Oh wow.
and my dad was 19. Oh, when they got married,
Yeah.
it was a couple years later.
Nice.
My mom was like 21 when she got married to my dad. But yeah, most of our family had immigrated here. And I am, a child of a Western world, but this family is from Hong Kong, So there was a lot of clash, I think. Growing up, it was challenging. My family had to work a lot. So it felt to me, in retrospect, when I was healing a lot of the stuff that felt really painful for my life, it felt like they were really absent in a way, or sometimes they were present but emotionally very absent. And then you have the mix of Chinese culture and what people expect of you in Chinese culture thrown in with the fact that American culture is opposite in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like we speak about it's more promoted here to like speak about your feelings or even have a little tantrum if you're a child and your parents kind of work through that with you. Some handle it better than others, but if you're Chinese, you don't do that. You don't let your parents know that you're mad at them or speak back to them because a lot comes with that. Like these are the cultural pieces that I've kind of like pulled out and like cleared out of my system a little bit that I experienced. But I'm naming this, but I also know that my path has been working on healing my soul. And there's way more to life than healing. But for a long time of my life, I spent healing these pieces of pain that then got manifested into my family life growing up. So I experienced a lot of wounds based on, now I can say based on beliefs that I had coming in of like feeling unworthy, feeling unlovable, feeling stupid, not smart, not enough. All these things played out in different ways with my parents, with my family, with the cultural differences. And there was a time I would have like blamed them for it essentially, or been that I needed, it was a necessary step to be angry with them and let anger come through when basically I'd shut that down too.
Yeah.
But with just growing and evolving further than that, I know that I came in with this. And the beautiful thing is you don't have to live that anymore. I don't live it anymore. Different pieces still come up.
Yeah.
And people ask me all the time, like, how do you know how does this come up? Like, to be specific, this week, last couple of weeks, I've had like a pain right here
Yeah.
in my collarbone. So if I like pull my shirt over my head, it hurts right there. And it hasn't been always.
Yeah.
And for me, I know that my body is the next signal, or the signal that something wants to be healed or seen. And I dealt with so much pain in my young life that there's just stuff living there that keeps on surfacing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in the last like 5 to 8 years, it's decreased a lot, and sometimes the potency of something coming through is really strong,
Mm-hmm.
but it's less frequent also. So a lot of people ask me, like my clients or friends or people that just are learning about what I do, they ask me, can you actually have permanent change or feel differently truly? Because I feel like, they're telling me, I feel like I'm always dealing with this pain, or I'll never get over this grief, or I'll always be this way. And I'm living proof that that's not true, because I did believe that I was unworthy. I did, and I didn't even know it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I just lived it. And then I had bad relationship after bad relationship, or painful things happen, and my interpretation was of pain, and
Yeah.
I couldn't see the like light in it or the golden parts of things. But then I was also creating it based on those beliefs. Until I saw that, I wasn't able to change it. And until I understood how to move through my emotions, let them pass through. But then beyond that, I've learned a lot of energetic techniques and working with light energy
Yeah.
that just make it a really much easier process to move things that don't fit with your current desired creation anymore.
Give me an example. Like how, like, let's say, like, if I'm one of your clients, like, how would you get me there? Like, how would you?
Well, give me an example of something that someone would go through or that you're going through.
Just to say, child abuse, right? Let's just say, I was abused as a child.
Like physically?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would I have to, like, is this more like like I gotta manifest myself somewhere? Like I gotta put myself into like I'm at a park as a child, or like, is it more of like going into a spiritual realm, or
It
how does it work?
depends. It depends, James. It depends on who I'm working with and what really resonates with them and where they're at with it. So some questions, a lot of my work isn't talking, and it's working with the body and what shows up. So if someone's telling me I experienced abuse as a child, like a parent hitting me or something, or verbally abusing me, or sexual abuse or something,
Yeah.
the first thing I want to do is understand through the first thing I want to do is sense where their nervous system is at, and also what gives them a feeling of safety or strength, what's gotten them through. And when we build on what has strengthened them or what could strengthen them, then we build that foundation for the nervous system of the body to feel safe. Because when we go to things that made us feel unsafe, we need a foundation that can bring us back to safety. So I do go to that level of the physical body and the nervous system as a primary thing, just to see where that person is at in their body, in their human body, because we're here having to work with these bodies.
Yeah.
So as much as I can be spiritual or energetic and work with light energy, like subtle parts of our body,
Yeah.
I also work very much with the physical body, because we have to be in this experience here.
If you had to make an avatar of your ideal client, what do they look like?
At this point, my ideal client is someone who is just open and ready for being in resonance with me. So if something calls to them about my energy or my something, anything that I've said that just feels like they want to work with me, usually that's how it's the most fun for me, because they come ready just for whatever. And that can look totally different. It could be maybe we do a piece with family constellations, which is a whole embodied modality where you just let things illuminate through your body or through visualizing, and it connects in with ancestry or past life or parts of yourself. That's a whole other
Sounds interesting.
conversation,
Yeah.
but it could be that. It could be clearing some beliefs. And I use forgiveness statements a lot. Like I forgive myself for judging myself for believing that I'm not good enough or that I have to have James's approval in order to feel okay.
Yeah.
You know, things that create dependency or lack of freedom. Or it could be just sitting together. I work a lot remotely, but sometimes I work in person. But either way, sitting together and meditating and tuning into what wants to show itself or what's coming. And that's my favorite now, because it's just really exciting when we tune in together. And I guess some people would say it's a clairvoyant ability or a psychic ability. I feel like that's kind of slimming it down into words that, you know, that gift. We all have different gifts of tuning into energy and
Yeah.
tuning into what's here. I have a particular gift for feeling ancestors and past lives. And I kind of say past lives with hesitancy now, because sometimes it seems like a parallel dimension or a multidimensional self
Okay, hold on.
happening at the same time.
So you're saying that you're able to channel someone's past life through your connection with them, like when you're connecting.
Essentially, yeah. If it's relevant to that person today, or if it's something that their energy, their being wants to look at because it's important right now, for whatever reason, it needs healing, or maybe there's a resource there.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a part of them that they need to integrate so that they are more of themselves, more full and complete. We are everything. You know, we're everything that exists. And so why not have all of us, all of ourselves? So yeah, I do have the ability. Channel is a word some people use. I don't use it a lot, but to sense and to see and feel if there was a past life that contributed to what they're going through now, or that wants to speak to them.
It's funny that you say that,
Yeah.
because I've always had this feeling that
It's getting juicy, James.
I've always had no. I've always had this feeling, and I don't even know like if this is like. But I've had this feeling like I've been an Egyptian, like a part of an
You
Egyptian.
told me that.
Yeah, I've been a part of an Egyptian pharaoh my whole like in past life. Like not as a pharaoh, a part of like that circle in Egypt. Like I just feel like it's so crazy. Like I feel connections. Sometimes it's so weird. I don't know if it's like I would like to wish I was, part of that era. But it is a
Well,
definitely. I'm very attracted to that era of time.
yeah.
I'm obsessed with it, to be honest. Like I love anything Egypt or anything mysterious or the archaeology, anything that has to do with Egypt. And when I'm around the stuff, right? Like if I go to like the Chicago Museum, or if I go, to anything where I just feel a connection to it. It's weird. Like I just feel like this was mine before. Like you know what I mean? Because like I feel
Yes.
it's nuts. So
Well, we say that. We say, okay, I'm hearing a couple of things. Like, I feel such a connection. I'm so drawn to it. You're excited by it. You feel like it's mine.
yeah, and I'm obsessed. Like I
Yeah.
can't every documentary. I can't get it off of TV. Like I'd rather watch a documentary on Egypt, Discovery, than anything else. Like
That's cool. Well, when you first said it to me, I was like, oh yeah. Like to me, it was a given.
Really?
Yeah.
Like
When
you felt the channel? Like did you, or is it like just
well,
agreeing
I
with what I'm
don't
saying?
always walk around just trying to see people's energy.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's not,
I get it.
it's kind of invasive, so I
Yeah.
just respect people's energy or what they're holding with them. But if you tell me or if you ask me and I want to look, but you told me. And as soon as you said that, I was like, absolutely. Like I see you as that.
Really?
Yeah. You don't remember that?
I think so. I don't know.
And then we tell ourselves these
Yeah.
things we deny, right? We go, oh, that's weird. Isn't
Yeah.
it weird? It's crazy. I hear people say things like that all the time, but if you remove that for a second and you just say, it's mine, what do you feel?
That it's mine. Like it's,
Right?
yeah, like I had possession of this at one time. Like,
Yeah. This is your knowing,
yeah.
James. Like you have that knowing. And we
That's right.
all have knowing of ourselves. If we don't deny it.
Yeah.
And if we haven't been taught to not know ourselves, which I was taught to not know, or I don't know if I was taught, conditioned maybe early in life, but
Yeah. I
also
was definitely
forgot.
conditioned too.
Also forgot a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but what, I love just challenging people to remove that part that denies and that says, this is crazy. And let's just say it's not crazy. And let's follow that and see where it takes you. If it gives you that sense of like, this is me or this is more of me, like, how great is that? Why would we deny ourselves that?
Some would say
Well, we might sound delusional.
Yeah. Some would say like, yeah, it's pretty delusional, man.
Yeah,
Like,
but just because we can't see something doesn't mean it's not happening.
I agree.
Or that it did. Like, how do you know? Did you eat breakfast today?
No. And I'm so
How do you
hungry.
know you didn't eat breakfast? I don't see that you didn't eat breakfast.
I feel it. I mean, I feel it in my
Right?
stomach right now. Like, yeah, like I could.
Okay, you have some evidence too.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely
Physically.
hungry. Yeah.
And
No,
you feel it.
I'm hungry.
Right. And when you feel the piece about Egypt and you as Egyptian, you feel that, right?
I do.
Okay, if I said, feel being, I'm going to hope to pick something random. Feel being like Alaskan. What does that feeling?
It doesn't.
What?
I can't relate to it. I don't want to.
Right, it doesn't even.
I want to, like, I just see Eskimos, I see coldness,
Yeah.
and I just, like, it doesn't attract me.
And it doesn't have, it sounds like it doesn't really have like a personal connection
Yeah, I don't
with
have
you.
there's no connection there.
Yeah.
I get
So
it.
that's how we know things. And sometimes we have to go a little further to really investigate it or like feel into that feeling.
Yeah.
Because it might not be that everything you feel is something that
Right.
you thought it meant, but it could mean something else. It could just be a breadcrumb to yourself.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I like it though. I mean, dude, I see myself like, there's a couple of things. I see myself from the past. I feel like I was part of Egyptian culture from my past. And I also, like, I'm a child of the moon. Like, the moon affects me. Like, it just does.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like,
Tell me about that.
the moon. I'm a child of the moon. Like, I can look at the moon I can stare at it. It doesn't matter. Like, I can go to the stars. It doesn't matter what time. Like, if it's out, like, I can just look at it. I can talk to it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I
You're
mean?
really connected with
Yeah,
it.
I am connected to the moon.
The moon speaks. What does the moon say to you?
I don't know what it says to me. It just
You feel it.
I just feel it. Like, I can
Yeah.
feel the pull, the gravitational pull of it. So, like, almost like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I'm very attracted to the moon. Like, I got pictures of the moon. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I love the moon.
Yeah.
Like, I don't ever think you hear somebody say it, like, but I do. I love the moon is a wonderful object for me. Like, I look at that
I love
thing.
that.
I look at the moon. I'm just like, wow, what a great thing. Like, you know what I mean? To be in the
Yes.
sky. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and it has so many.
Magnificent.
It has so many different looks. It has, as an artist, like you look at the moon and it changes. Like if, I had a house by the water and that moon it'd be a different picture every day. And it was wonderful. But at the same time, I don't know what my connection is with it. I'm a Cancer. I don't know. So it's, I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but.
Well, you said it yourself, like, I'm a child of the moon.
Yeah.
So you could have been of the moon or very close to it or lived there or.
I don't know. I have no idea.
mean, lived there.
Lived there?
I sound crazy, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm a very galactic being, and I know that I've lived in different galaxies. So I don't know that much about this moon, except for what we scientifically know or
Yeah.
think we know.
What did you go to school for?
But a lot of things. I studied art education and graphic design.
Nice.
Did you know that?
At Michigan State?
Yeah,
Nice.
that was I had a BFA, and then I studied a master's of arts in curriculum and teaching. So I was an art teacher for about 6 years.
Wow.
Middle school was my jam. And then I studied clinical psychology along with all these embodied healing modalities and indigenous, like spiritual and indigenous healing.
Mm.
Yeah, like yoga, Reiki, indigenous practices like Native American practices, Ayurveda, yoga. I think I already
Sounds
said that.
cool. I like
Family constellation, somatic experiencing, voice dialogue. So I kind of just blend everything
it. Yeah.
and use what someone might need. But I use my intuition a lot, so I just feel what's coming through, what needs to be seen, what wants to be seen, what wants to happen.
You and you implement that all with like so let's talk about all the things you do. You do a lot of things. You're a healer, voiceover, actress, a musician, singer. I mean, it's a dancer,
Oh
a
yeah.
professional dancer.
No, I'm not a professional
You're a
dancer.
professional dancer, bro.
No, I'm not.
You are a professional
I'm just learning.
Yeah.
When I first started learning dance when I was like 26,
Yeah.
I was like, I should have been doing this all my life. Where has this been? It felt like this like lost piece of myself that I found.
Wow.
And I went to Troy Dance Studio and I took a salsa class and I literally had like 2 left feet. Like I couldn't put my mind to my feet
Yeah.
where I'm asking it to move, my right foot to move, but my left foot was moving or like it just got stuck. So I was like,
How old were you?
really a mess, like 26.
26?
Yeah.
Well, you were a cheerleader too for Michigan State.
Yeah.
So you had to have rhythm. Like you had rhythm there.
Well, you can count and do
Yeah.
things on count, but it doesn't mean you can move your feet in 2 different ways,
Sure. It's a whole different
in
dance.
2 different directions and a different beat
I got you.
to a type of music that I wasn't that familiar with, like salsa music, Latin music.
Yeah.
And I liked it, but I just couldn't hear the cowbell for a while.
Nice.
But yeah, so first day I took salsa, I was like, I'm gonna do this. And I bought like a week pass. And then after that, I bought a 2-week pass and then a month and then a year. And which means you can go to every class
Yeah.
for the week or the month or the year. And I was just hooked. And then I did it for like a couple years, 2 years, 3. Met a wonderful group of people. Did some musicals at that time too. My first little dabble in musical theater. And then I moved to Chicago and I only danced like once a quarter.
Mhm.
And so for about 15 or 16 years, I didn't really dance because I went to Chicago, lived for 9 years there. Then I traveled for about 3.5, lived abroad. And I just didn't even bring my dance shoes. I did bring ballet shoes or ballet slippers though. But so I took this like large hiatus. And about 8 months ago, I got really inspired to dance West Coast swing again. And I could fake it. So people think I'm
Yeah, fake it well.
a good dancer, but I like didn't know any of the steps, really. I knew the basic steps, but I didn't know the things you do in the West Coast style. And all the West Coast dancers are like they know. They're like, oh, that's not what we do.
So what's like
So I have
what's
to
your
fill in
favorite?
the gaps.
What's your favorite dance right now?
West Coast Swing
West
is my
Coast Swing?
favorite now.
Yeah, I love West
It's
Coast
because
Swing.
it's so you love it.
Yeah, it's really I like the dance. It's
Yeah.
really nice. It looks good, like, especially when you know what you're doing. I like the bachata. Like I'm a
Yeah.
bachata
Oh, that's right.
person.
You love bachata.
West Coast Swing is right up there. I love that too.
It's so improvisational that I love it
Yeah.
because you're really having a conversation with your partner. And in other dances, it's always a conversation, but there's more of a stronger lead, and then the follow has to do what the lead asks
Yeah.
or invites. But with West Coast, there's a back and forth. Like the follow can steal the lead or can say, hold on, I'm going to do something right here. Okay, I'm done. Or let's do this. And so it's a constant, like, how about this from one person or the other?
Yeah.
And
No,
then
I
you
dig
see
it.
what they do. It's so improvisational.
How about voiceover? Like what made you wanted to get into voiceovers?
I mean, really, whoever it was out there that was listening to my podcast and was like, you should do voiceover. You have a great voice.
Mhm.
Literally one day it just clicked.
Nice.
And I was like, I should do voiceover.
Yeah.
And then I looked on Facebook and there was this was in 2022, I think, 2021.
Pre-COVID or after COVID?
After COVID.
After COVID.
And I saw a workshop, and it was in person, which was also surprising at that time, in the area. And I took it, and I just jumped in after that. Just jumped right into a coaching program, and
Yeah. Have you? I mean,
did
what's
it.
the success look like in that? I mean, you've been doing a lot of doing a lot of work for that.
yeah, I really love it. So the way that my life works is that I have clients in the healing realm, healing work and coaching. And then I do some acting and voice acting to make a living. But I also see everything I do as bringing in abundance. So with specifically voice acting, it kind of flows, it ebbs and flows in with other parts of my life. So if I'm really excited about acting at the time or really excited about my client work, then maybe there's a little bit less voice acting. And then when I kind of like shift back into excitement about voice acting, more of that comes.
Sure.
So I can't say it's like a consistent thing because of the way my life flows and the way that I kind of come in and out of my passions in different ways, like loop
Nice.
around them.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but it's been very good. And I've had the joy of doing voice work for like State Champs W, Katya's this gummy candy, made in Germany, a vegan gummy candy.
nice.
Those are really fun.
You did a commercial for them?
I did about 15 spots on social media
Oh wow.
with my voice in there. They're so cute, these commercials, because they care about animals.
Yeah.
And this is not a paid promotion, just FYI.
Yeah.
But like, I just loved working with them because, they love animals, and so their videos would be like playing with pigs or something, and I'm like saying something about the animals for
Nice.
their, for the voiceover. I've done some different things for the Michigan Department of Health and Shoppers Insight, some local things in Detroit area, and narrations.
I like
I
it.
do audiobooks as well. I'm coached and trained to do that, but I've never really done one
That's
because
huge.
I don't love to read. But if it's like the right, exciting story
Yeah.
that will be fun for me, I think I'd love to do it.
Dude, there's money in that.
There can be.
Yeah.
There can be. Yeah.
You
But I
definitely-
don't do it for the money anymore. I do everything for joy and for fun.
Here,
But I love the money that comes with it
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
It's fun. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Can we
Yeah.
take a pause here?
Yeah. Do you
Okay.
want to
There was a natural pause, so.
Hey, check this out right here. We in the building.